For you today is another gaming build. These are just where I go and pick out components, systems that I would actually personally buy, pick up, and actually use my own money personally if I didn't already have a system and purchase it. I focus on different price ranges, and I usually do a couple each month at least in varying price brackets to fit everyone's needs. Today I'm going to focus on $1,400. Yes, that might be a lot, but I really wanted to cram a Haswell chip in there. I got a lot of new parts actually in this build with the Z87 platform. Also, there's some new memory out that's really cool. Memory that I personally enjoy visually. It's a very, very nice looking memory. With that being said, I have decided to not include Windows 7 or Windows 8 or whatever Windows you're going to run because a lot of people have complained about that. So if you want Windows 7, add another $100 onto this. But right now it's a $1,400. Basically, I cut no corners. I picked all products that got good reviews, and they're products that are going to last for the next, you could probably run this for the next 3 or 4 years, no problem on any of the games that are out there. So the first thing I like to start out with is the case. Yes, this is a little subjective in that not everyone likes the same style when it comes to their case. But what I actually have here is a Fractal Arc MIDI R2. This is very similar to the Fractal Define R4. It does have a side window in it. Build quality is outstanding. It's one of the... Fractal really does a good job of making cases that are affordable, but also don't cut corners in build quality and overall design. So we're getting this for $65. $64.99 is the current price right now. And that's a cheap case. I really wanted to go with the Corsair 350D, but I'm going to kind of wait till the one with the window comes down in price a little bit. For the motherboard, I went with the MSI Z87-G45. This is their gaming series motherboard. This seems to be one of the best suited motherboards when it comes to gaming. Mainly because it's very good at overclocking, and you also have the option to overclock your memory speed. So if you want a little bit faster memory, we can do that very easily. If you don't like the look of the board, there's many other boards in this price range. It's $159.99. It does have a killer NIC on there for your gaming experience when it comes to playing online. You also have a Sound Blaster sound card built in. Not a big fan of onboard audio, but it's nice that they put one on there, so you do get a little bit better benefit from that. For the CPU, I went with i5-4670K. That seems to be the sweet spot for gaming right now. It's running at $229.99. There's no reason to get the i5, the 3570K. It's about the same price, about 10 bucks less. But you're going to get about a 10% performance in Haswell's CPUs over the previous generation. So there's no real point in getting the Z77 platform anymore, if you ask me, unless you can really get a good deal on one. For the PSU, I actually picked a PSU that it got some of the best reviews I've actually seen on Newegg. They got really good reviews there. It was a Cooler Master Silent Pro 80 Plus Gold power supply. This is semi-modular in that both of the cables that are actually going to your motherboard, the two power cables, are actually already connected, but you have to use those anyway, so I don't mind seeing that there. It's $107.99, so about $110. We're going to get 800 watt, 80 plus gold power supply, semi-modular. Gets really good reviews. This is one of their Cooler Master Silent series, so it is going to run quieter than some of the other power supplies out there. I really like how Cooler Master is really starting to get into more power supplies. I like that. Usually I always recommend Seasonic or Corsair, but now that we have the Cooler Master really starting to step up their game, we can pick that up. And for the price point, you can't beat it. That is the power supply. If I needed a power supply today, that is the one I would actually get for that $107, $108 price point. For the GPU, I went with the EVGA. This is the one with the ACX cooler. I went with the 770. Not the super clocked one, just the regular standard one. It's about $409, $410 right now. There's really no reason to get a 680 anymore unless you can get it under $350 or less. This is running the same chip, the GK104 chip, I believe, and it's just basically a 680 on steroids for the same price. Most of the 680s are around the same price point, so I don't really see a need in getting a 680, so we jumped up for that. If you need a little bit more performance, you could grab a 780 or maybe grab a couple 7970s, 7950s and throw in there. But this is the cooler I would go with. It's easily, hands down, the best looking cooler that I've seen, and from the numbers I've actually seen on these coolers, they're they're running extremely cool, similar to what Asus's Direct CU2 coolers are. So definitely pick that up for $410. For the RAM, I also went with some newer RAM, just released, and found some on sale. Corsair Vengeance Pro, 8 gigabytes, 2x4, that's 8 gigabytes, and it's running at 1866 megahertz memory for $70. That's a very good deal. If you just look at it, I'll throw a picture of it up here. It looks great. It's really a good-looking memory. I like memory that, especially if you have a window on your case, just something that's going to stand out and look a little bit more classy. Throw a little more class into your system. Now for the SSD, not everyone wants a SSD, but I personally won't own a system that doesn't have one in it. I went with the Samsung 840 128 gigabyte SSD. I don't know if I have the box somewhere. I'm running one of these. They're really good SSDs. It's probably some of the best looking SSDs also. But for $98, it's about $99 once you factor everything in. $99, $100 for an 840 128 gigabyte SSD. That's the way to go. Samsung really knows what they're doing with their SSDs. They control everything. They do the firmware. They're manufacturing everything. It's their product. They're not just rebranding it. And for the hard drive, I went with the Western Digital 1 terabyte WD Blue. This is a pretty standard hard drive. It's been around for a long time, and it has some of the best quality out there, if you ask me. It's just an overall good hard drive for $70. We're gonna get that for $69.99. There's a Seagate Barracuda for the same exact price. So if you want a 1 terabyte and you prefer Seagate Barracuda, they have one for $70 also. For the cooler, I actually went with the Swiftech H220. I splurged a little bit here in that I've had the Corsair H100, the Corsair H80i, the Corsair H100i, and right now I'm personally using the Swiftech H220. Easily, hands down, this is the best pre-filled liquid cooler system out there. Running dual 220 millimeter fans, so it is going to be a little bit lengthier radiator. I'll throw my unboxing of it up that I actually did here, doing a review on it at some point. But this radiator, yes, it is $150. It's hard to find. I found it in stock at 2 places, so we can definitely pick it up. It's about $50 more than some of the other radiators in its bracket. And overall, you might look at it and say, well, it doesn't look very much different. Well, this actually is different. It is made of copper, which copper is a denser material, so it is a little heavier. But the denser material basically means that it plays around with heat a little better. It can dissipate heat in a much more efficient fashion than aluminum, which is really actually a really light metal if you actually look at it. So that is what I would pick up Swiftech H220. It's got good fans with it too. I mean, they're decent fans. You're going to get some better performance if you step up and get a little bit more expensive fans. But overall, this is hands down the best cooler I've actually seen. It actually is customizable, that you can actually modify the loop if you want and add a GPU. They put a bigger water block on there for a reason, in that they really want you to be able to play around with this. If you want to water cool your GPU in the future, you can now. You just take it apart, run your own loops, and refill it back up, and you're ready to go. It's really simple. I'm not a huge custom water cooling guy, so it really makes it easy for someone like me. It's easily, hands down, the best water cooler out there, if you ask me. And then whatever operating system you want, you can throw that in there. I'm not going to include that because so many people complained about me putting that in there, so we're not going to. For the DVD CD, I usually leave this out, but I actually had a little bit of change left over to hit that $1,400 price point. Went with the LG DVD Blu-ray player / DVD CD writer, all that. For $40, it was on sale. I picked that up. There is times, I personally don't have cable, so there is times where I'll actually want to throw a Blu-ray disc into my computer upstairs and watch something if I want. Yes, I have a bigger TV downstairs, but sometimes it's just more convenient if I'm doing that, maybe doing some things on the side. So that puts us at $1,401. I went over our budget a little bit, but overall, this is probably the best $1,400 system out there. Yes, people are going to argue, saying you could do this, do that. And there's many ways you could cut corners and get the price down a little bit, but if I was building a system right now, had $1,400, this is what I would get. Personally, I would have no problems picking up any of this stuff. The case is a little subjective. It depends on what you want there. But this is going to be able to play any game you want. Even at 2560 by 1440, it shouldn't really have an issue being able to perform at those levels. that you won, which is over 30 frames per second easily. 1920 by 1080, it's going to be able to destroy anything at that without any issue. Yes, Crisis 3, and there might be a few games here or there. But overall, definitely pick this up if you're looking for a $1,400 gaming PC. Thanks again for watching JWolf Tech Broadcast. I'm going to do a cheaper build next, and I will see you guys next time with that.